You're listening to the Retirement Solution Podcast with John Hicks.
Here with John Hicks, I'm Jennifer Perry. Thanks so much for joining us this week. And if you want more information on John and the entire team at J. Hagan Capital, if you have a retirement question for us too, just reach out to us on the website at retirementsolutionradio.com. So this administration, they're starting to lay out more of their tax proposals and how they're going to make up for, of course, our massively sized federal budget deficit now. So he was on ABC News recently talking about this plan, and it is very similar to what he proposed during the election.
Anybody making more than $400,000 will see a small to a significant tax increase. If you make less than $400,000, you won't see one single penny in additional federal tax.
Hold on. Did you catch that? Well, it was good because he must have only had 1 or 3 masks on, not the 7 to 12 that he's typically doing. You know, the fact that the president has gone away from 6-bagging it right now makes me really happy because I can at least hear him a little bit. But I wish I hadn't heard what he said. Did you hear that, Jennifer?
Let's play it again. Hold on.
Anybody making more than $400,000 will see a small to a significant tax increase.
Okay. So what we just heard there, and he says it so well, as politicians typically do. Hey, if you're doing well out there, you might see a small to a significant increase in your federal taxes.
Well, that's
Let's say it
reassuring.
Again. A very small, so small to a very significant, like almost all of your money. We're just going to take it. And I have to use that voice like it's a Sunday truck rally. Come see Monster Truck Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. I don't know why it happens that way, but guys, this is kind of what I've been saying for a long time. You don't have to have a political persuasion when the president of the United States says something like this. If you have done well in this country, if you have been a proponent of capitalism, if you've played the rules correctly so that you can do better, heck, if you're a small business owner and you have employees, what they're saying is, hey, if you've done well, there's going to be potentially a small to potentially a very significant increase in your federal tax bill. Mm-hmm. And guys, what is the disparity between the word small or significant? Well, see, that's what makes me nervous.
There's a wide berth there, isn't there?
There is. There's a huge berth there. And so when you think about that, this reminds me of when in 2016, Hillary Clinton was talking about how they were going to help knock down that federal debt. And she said, well, we're just going to have a small tax on those assets that are left when people have passed away.
And by small, she meant how much?
67%. She said, we're going to have a small tax on all those IRAs and 401ks and 403bs. If the owner of those accounts and their spouse, if they're both gone, we're just going to have a little tax, just maybe small to significant tax of 67% before it goes to the next generation.
So the majority of what you worked for is going to them.
And why would we want that? We wouldn't have saved that. We would have spent it, would we not?
Right.
I would love for anyone to tell me, especially after we've been pent up for over a year, who wouldn't have liked to have gone out and had an extra vacation? Who wouldn't have liked to have taken the grandkids or the kids somewhere special? Who wouldn't have liked to have had maybe a bigger screen TV or a better hot tub? Or frankly, give more to your favorite charity. Give more to your church. Give more to those people who've lost their jobs because restaurants have closed and they don't have those jobs, right?
Right.
We could have done so much more with that money, but we weren't able to because we were pent up. And now we're hearing the president say, well, it may be small, it may be significant, but if you've done well, we're going to take it from you one way or another. And we don't yet know what those numbers are going to be because no one's told me, whispered it in my ear. But once we hear those numbers, I'm going to be just as vague as I was before. Small to significant. But guys, this is what we're talking about. Now, the one thing that I do completely disagree with him on is that he says if you don't make over $400,000, basically you get nothing to worry about. That is not correct. That is wrong.
Okay.
If you look at the way that they're proposing this stuff, Jennifer, and this is a big deal for me, okay, because I'm a small business owner. I have 7 employees in my company. And every single day that I'm working, I'm thinking, how do I make sure that I'm doing everything right for my clients? How do I make sure that I'm doing everything right for my employees? Mm-hmm. Those, believe it or not, actually happen first. And then I say, now, how do I make sure once those things are satisfied, I'm doing their best for my family?
Right.
That is the life of a small business owner. You guys out there that do this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You have to take care of those prized people that respect and trust you. They give you their hard-earned money for you to do your job. That's number one. You have to respect those people. You put them at the very top of the food chain. Mm-hmm. And after that are those employees, those people that help you get it done. Because if you did not have those people, you could not do part one, which is to satisfy the client. It's only that third piece of the puzzle when we're really thinking about ourselves and our family. And so I know how much heartache and struggle and sacrifice small business owners make.
Right.
But when you look at that, what they're proposing, Jennifer, is that anyone that is actually a small business owner is potentially going to have a tremendous tax increase. Because they're talking about changing the pass-through entity. So if you're a small business owner out there, and you're not a C Corp, right? Because maybe we don't have hundreds of millions of dollars, but we're an S Corp, we're an LLC. This is exactly aimed at hurting our deductibilities. This is exactly aimed at making us pay more when we can probably least afford it, some of us.
We are just coming out of this current crisis.
We're just coming out of it, and he's already, as soon as he takes the masks on, I wish he'd put them back on. You just took them off, put them back on. I don't want to hear what you're saying. This is terrible. No, so what we're seeing is that not only are small business owners going to get hurt, but he's talking about increasing that corporate tax rate. Now listen, guys, I'm not for low corporate tax rates in and of themselves. I'm really not. But he wants to increase the corporate tax rates by like 7%. And if we do that, every single company that we own in our 401ks or IRAs, every single company we own, the mutual funds that own those companies, they're worth about 7% less. Why? Well, because we're going to increase the expenses of those companies. We're going to increase their tax rates by 7%. The market should at least go down by 7%.
Okay.
Now, here's my fear. The markets don't react very justly. They react on fear and greed.
Yeah.
So if all of a sudden the government gets greedy, then I think these corporations are going to be fearful.
Right.
And I don't think the market goes down 7%. I think it may go down 15, 17%. Because all of those stocks are worth less money because those companies will have earned less money because they got to pay more in taxation. So when he says, hey, if you make less than $400,000, you don't have to worry about anything. That's a lie. It's a straight up lie. Because if you're a small business owner, you may not make $400,000, but you're going to pay more because you're going to not have as many deductions. You're not going to be able to do some of the things we've been able to do in the previous administration and what we were expected to have going forward. And if you own any of these companies, these great American enterprises, the ones that have actually been doing quite well in the market, that's going to absolutely potentially unravel itself. So we have to look at these things. I think it's infactual. I think it's wrong. And frankly, it's a lie to say that just because you don't make $400,000, it's not going to affect you. It's going to affect every single one of us that are either small business owners or we've just saved well.
Yeah.
And that, Jennifer, I wish you put the mask back on.
Thanks for listening. Want more from John? Find us online at retirementsolutionradio.com.
The opinions expressed in this program are for general informational purposes only and not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual or any specific security. To determine which investments may be appropriate for you, consult your financial advisor prior to investing. Any past performance discussed during this program is no guarantee of future results. J. Hagan Capital is a registered investment advisor. To find out if John Hicks is licensed in your state, please call 502-690-5635. J. Hagan Capital Incorporated is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal advice. Annuity guarantees are subject to the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance products and annuities offered through John Hicks. Kentucky Insurance License Number 998827.